I have got in front of me a full face of all of the brand new makeup for 2025. 2025 is spoiling us. So many new launches, both drugstore and high-end, that we're going to get into today. And if you're just excited as I am, then keep on watching. Welcome back to my channel. Today is super exciting. I went and I picked up a lot of new things for 2025. I got all of the new, juiciest, most viral, most popular products from Ulta and Sephora. Some of these launches are newer than others, but all of these things are new to me. And without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I picked up that we're going to go in with is the NYX The Face Glue Gripping Primer. It looks exactly like Elmer's glue. I've heard a lot of people talk about the fact that if you don't like gripping primers because your skin is dry, which I am that girl, then you're going to really like this. It's supposed to be a hydrating gripping primer. So let's go ahead and see what all the fuss is about. Right off the bat, it does feel incredibly hydrating, much more so than I've got the e.l.f. gripping primer and also the Milk Makeup gripping primer. This feels almost like a gel lotion, which is very nice. The other ones are absolutely more gelatinous in consistency. They actually have what feels like a little bit of rubber to them. And this one has a lot more of a lotion base. And personally, I really enjoy that. It gives you a little bit of glow to the skin because of the lotion as a result. I will say it does feel that it doesn't dry down to have as much stick as possible as, say, the Milk. But after a couple more wear tests, I'll let you know how this wears throughout the day. And so far, I really like the feel of it. So if it does what it says it does, it is getting a little bit tacky. Then I think this is going to be a really great option for those of us that have extremely parched skin. Next, I'm very excited. I have one of the most widely talked about foundations right now. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Impeccable Blurring Second Skin Matte Foundation. This looks so beautiful. I went in Sephora and I swatched this myself. It seems very full coverage and the dry down seems to be very dry. So I want to see if I can try to make it work for those of us that do have dry skin. But personally, sometimes I'm actually looking for more of a matte base because sometimes that clean girl, beautiful aesthetic just tends to wipe off my face by the end of the day, and I don't look great at all. We've got the longest list of callouts for this foundation ever. It says it's supposed to be blurring, soft matte, second skin, weightless, moisturizing, hydrating, natural, long-lasting, non-drying, non-settling, dermatologist tested, non-comedogenic, vegan, and cruelty-free. So basically, it's claiming to be everything. We shall see. I feel like this may have already been too much. I'm going to go ahead and blend this in with my Beauty 101 brush from BK Beauty. Sometimes when I'm a little afraid that I've put too much on, I'll go in with a bigger foundation brush rather than a more concentrated one. Oh, wow. I cannot stand it when influencers do this and they act like the very first time anything touches their skin, they are just blown away and it's the best thing that's ever graced their skin ever. But that being said, I am not kidding you. This is beautiful. I can't stress this enough because I really don't say this, but this is my favorite a foundation has ever looked on my skin upon first impression, ever. Wow. If this wears as impeccably as it looks, I feel like I could get rid of almost the rest of my foundations. Almost. That makes me so sad. The rest of that pump was so unneeded. I want to put it back. Look at how ridiculous I'm being. Trying not to waste this product. Okay, well, that's an absolute first impression win so far. That is so lovely. Next, we're going to go in with a very exciting cream contour product. This is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour, and I have mine in the shade Fair Light. I've heard so many incredible things about these, and this is because I really don't buy every single launch out there. I don't have any of the e.l.f. Camo blushes. So this is my first foray into this line. Taking a little bit on my nose, getting into the hollows of my eyes, on the tip of my nose. Hopefully these have a good blend out. Okay, let's see what we're working with. So far, so good. So the tone of this one is looking a little bit on the bronzer side because it's got a little bit of brick in it, which it doesn't look that way in the package. It looks very cool toned. But on my skin tone, it's pulling a little bit of plummy brick red, just a heads up. The color is very nice. The blend is very good. I really enjoy that. For how pigmented it is, it blends out to something very manageable, but a little does go a long way. Doing a little bit of reverse contouring on my eyes, taking it into my eye sockets. Because I wasn't expecting this to pull so brick red, this may not have been the best shade for contour for my nose, but that's all right. We'll go ahead and fix it. If you feel you've put a little too much contour in your nose, take your foundation brush or your concealer brush, whatever left over on it, and just very lightly go over the edges. It's okay, you don't have to be too precise. You're left with something way more natural that you can work with then. Going over the edges of this, but for a $7 product, you can't do better. Honestly, for a $45 product, you can't do better. I'm going to be hooked on this. Moving on, I picked up a lot of blush in the blush category. Blush is having a moment still in 2025. It's still popping off. Everybody's coming out with all kinds of blushes. I got some new shades of some of my favorite L'Oreal Lumi liquid blushes. These are very beautiful. Some of my absolute favorites from the drugstore. But what I really wanted to show you were these. I mentioned in my last video that I really wanted to try the new Ube birthday cake on fair skin. See if I can make this work for me. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a very lilac look. Other viral blush I picked up the new Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush. And I tried it on yesterday in the bright red shade called She Left Me on Red. It really was stunning. The undertone in this, he absolutely formulated very, very well. It was very flattering, very natural. Red blush right now is going viral because the original makeup artist for Victoria's Secret said that it was what she used on all of the Victoria's Secret models for the fashion show because it's the most natural flush color that we actually all have. I can definitely tell you that's exactly what it looked like on my skin yesterday. It was a very natural color. It faded to something extremely natural. It didn't look like I had blush on, but I didn't look dead. So he did a phenomenal job with the undertone of this blush for sure. And I had an extremely wearable look for something that looks a little scary. Okay, getting back to what we're going to do today. This is the new Huda blush filter in the shade Ube Cream. I really love this formulation. Again, as somebody who has acne prone skin, I really like a blurring effect on my cheeks. And this is my first test and foray into this blush. So maybe later on down the line, I'll find out it's better if I put concealer down first. I'll go and play with it for a little bit, but we'll just go ahead and grab our first impressions right now. I do find that because my skin tone naturally has an olive undertone, even though I'm incredibly fair, I am half Mexican. Olive tones pull really, really strongly when I have no makeup on. So I'm hoping that something lilac and purple like this will help to actually combat that green color that I really do not care for. So I'm hoping this is right up my alley. I usually like lilac colors on me, and so far I really like this blush. I'm somebody who also really doesn't mind fragrance in their products because I really like the experience of it, and these smell amazing every time I use them, which just puts me in a good mood. Okay. Regardless of how the powder works out, that is a win for me. I really like this color on my skin tone. It is so beautiful. Now, this powder is the new powder in her new packaging that she just, the word's not reformulated, what is it called? Rebranded? I really like the way that this one has a natural stopper built in on the inside. The other one had a stopper that you could take out and potentially lose if you're like anybody who's not perfect. So I appreciate that. I could hear y'all screaming at me. You were like, Sophie, you don't have concealer on. Why would I do this before concealer? Why? Thank you for saving me. I could hear you from the other side. I was like, oh my God, forgot concealer. Okay, hold please. I also brushed my brows for you because that's just rude of me. So I'm going to go in with my favorite Hourglass concealer. I have two concealers that I mix to find my perfect neutral shade. And actually today I'm not going to mix them. I'm only going to go in with the lighter one because I have a feeling this powder is going to be a little bit pigmented. And if it oxidizes on me at all, which I'm pretty sure it will, I want to make sure I don't have too dark of a concealer. So I'm going to go in with just the lightest shade here. And I'm going to use the classic BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A506 brush. I really like it when people mention the brushes that they use in their videos, so let me know if that's redundant or if I should just put it down in the description box below. But I find it really helpful. I think tools make or break your makeup look. The drugstore has gotten so good, honestly, at their products that I think if you invest in the right tools, you can make any product, high-end or drugstore, look incredibly beautiful. All right, we're looking a little bright under there, but the moment we've all been waiting for, let's go ahead and dive into this powder. It is purple, y'all. I'm going to take her little cute powder puff like so. Make sure I distribute it evenly on the back of my hand before going in. And as always, blend out your crease right before you go in with a powder. Ooh, wow. This may make me look ridiculous, but why do I love it? Oh my gosh. I can feel in my bones that for me, the way to do this is to integrate it into my blush like this and keep it off the corners of my eyes. Should I do it just for experimental purposes? I think I owe it to you. I think I'm gonna do it. But I took the tiniest amount in my inner corner. Okay, let's assess the situation. This is definitely a look, and it is a beautiful look that I'm really into. I personally, for 2025, think it's a little bit on its way out. However, it doesn't matter. You will probably see me using this again and again. I think this is beautiful. Beautiful. This is something I really, really enjoy on my personal skin tone. If you were like me, and I think even this would bring out the rosiness. If you don't have an olive green undertone like I do and you have rosiness in your skin, this is going to be so beautiful. You just have to use a very light hand. But I think my consensus is if you're as fair as snow like I am, you absolutely can use this powder. And that's what's so brilliant about Huda is that she formulates things so well. Her colors are so beautifully innovative and well tested and well thought out that you actually can use this for more than one skin tone. Is this going to look chef's kiss on darker skin tones? Yes. This is an absolute win. It looks so blurring. I feel like the formula is even more blurring than I'm used to from her. I don't know what she did, but I freaking love that. So happy. Okay, let's go ahead and set the rest of the face. And because it's YouTube and I'm feeling fancy, I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury setting powder. This powder is beautiful. It's got sort of a pinky undertone. It leaves a little bit of a sheen to your skin. One thing I am noticing about this foundation is usually I will have creasing right around my mouth immediately, especially with a wetter formula. I'm having no creasing. Especially too on the lines on my forehead. I usually experience so much product settling into that area. And for as long as I've been sitting here, there has been none of that. I am liking this foundation more and more. I don't know what they did. And good for Anastasia. I think they needed a little bit of a comeback product. Their products have always been very good quality, but this is just something outstanding. This is really, really incredible out of this world. And it doesn't feel drying. It did feel drying on my hand in Sephora, so don't let that deter you. This feels lovely. I really hope it wears as good as I like it right now. Next, I'm going to keep it very simple on the eyes today. I think I'm going to go in with the theme and go in with Huda Beauty's Icy Nude Palette. I think this will go really perfectly with the eye look we've got going on today. But since this video isn't very eye makeup focused, I'll kind of fast forward this part for y'all so that we can still keep to the good stuff. First off, the Icy Nude Palette from Huda Beauty is so incredibly stunning. I get the most beautiful eye looks from it every time, and every time I wear it, I get compliments. It has the perfect mix of nude with cool tone shades, which actually I think is a pretty unique thing to do. It's got a beautiful wide range of finishes as well, which is also very unique to a palette. I think she knocked it out of the park. I think this is so stunning. The mirror is big enough that you can take it with you when you travel, and I've been using it nonstop. Next, new to me, I found this at TJ Maxx. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Extensions Tubing Mascara. If you don't know, tubing mascaras have fibers in them that actually coat and clump each lash into a tube, and then it builds up upon itself. So it's really good for lengthening and thickening, but also people love it for their ease of getting off. These come off in water, and you pull the tube gently off of your lash, and it doesn't actually strip your lash because it's not adhering to it itself. So this is incredible, wonderful, definitely hype. Okay, if you know anything about me, the lip category in my life has certainly gotten a little out of control. So I've got so many new incredible lip products. I did get the Huda Beauty Faux Filter, the Huda Beauty Faux Filler, lip gloss, which these are a really hydrating, thick, beautiful lip gloss. And the shade I think is going to be really nice. So we may use that today. But what I also picked up is the Viral Peel Off Lip Liner Stain. These are from the brand Sachaeu. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And I got mine in a couple of neutral lip liner colors. I wore one yesterday. I think they definitely have a learning curve to them, especially if you don't have beautiful filled lips already. For those of us girlies that don't have lip liner and we still have lines in our lines, you can definitely see that. So I have to play around with these, but I think the colors and I think the staying power is extremely good. But the way that they naturally look like liner, it's a little hard to work with. You have to work very, very quickly. They dry very fast. I also got the ColourPop Fresh and Kiss Glossy Lip Balms. These are not exactly new for 2025. They are new to me. And I got these off of a recommendation that they are an exact dupe of the Summer Fridays lip butters, which I love personally. So if I can find an affordable dupe for those days when I don't have a bunch of cash and I don't feel like spending a ton of money on it, I'm always looking for a good alternative for my girlies out there. I went overboard and I got 5 colors of the viral NYX Lip IV Hydrating Gloss Serums. These are supposed to be a lip lacquer, which I really love the look of my lips being very wet, but I also love a stain because when I have a baby and I'm kissing him all day long, I don't want anything to come off on my clothes or him, so these seemed like right up my alley. For liner, I'm going to go in with a very neutral shade. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. Oh my god, that's so awkward. Why didn't anybody tell me I didn't blend my lip contour? Oh my god, how embarrassing. Wow. That's what I get for trying to be fancy for y'all because I don't normally do that contour and I forgot. Whoa. Okay, let's go in with this shade. It's got a little bit of plum undertones, it looks like, so it'll match the lavender we've got going on here. This is the color Very Thirsty. I changed my mind. This looks a little more red than I want today. I kind of went a neutral. So let's go in with a more neutral shade. Let's go in with this nice pinky shade. This is in the shade Bubblegum Burst. Yeah, this looks a little better. This is the same place that has the butter glosses. This feels like a butter gloss. This feels really nice. All right. Love that too. I really do. That really feels like one of their butter glosses, which I've never heard anybody complain about their butter glosses. They are so beautiful and they feel so luxurious. So I'm sure this will go into a stain. I'm going to give it a few minutes. We can wipe it off and then I'll try one more lip product so that we amplify our product testing today. Before that happens, I'm going to go in and set my face with one of my favorite sprays. This is the Dalba First Spray Serum. This again is not new. I'm sure you know what this is. This is an incredibly viral spray, but for us dry skin girlies out there, this will not help your makeup last, but it'll make all of that powder, especially when we're using a matte foundation, set and settle into place and have our skin not feel so dry and crackly. So I will go in with this before I will use a long wear setting spray. And it smells like a luxury spa experience. Next, what I want to test out is I bought the accompanying NYX The Face Glue Setting Spray. Now, this is supposed to be a long wear setting spray. It says it is transfer resistant makeup setting spray, and up to 24-hour wear. So basically, I need transfer resistant. I need it in my life, especially when I spend so much money and time and effort on my makeup. I'd like it not to be rubbed all over my baby and other things. So let's go ahead and give this a spritz. So upon a first glance, I like the finish of it. It doesn't I tend to look for, but from the drugstore, it's okay. If the formula is pretty good, I don't mind it. It didn't actually leave any big splotches on my face, and my face does look a little more hydrated, but the jury's out with this one. All right, I think that was pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and recap my thoughts. I think the Face Glue Gripping Primer is very nice. It feels very nice and very hydrating. And in fact, these two products together, the setting spray and the gripping primer, you don't really get all of the information you need from a first impression. You need to actually know how long they wear throughout the day. So I will go ahead and try to update you as I keep trying these. But upon first application, I didn't see any red flags. So that's always good. I love an affordable win. This is the best thing to hit the market in years. And I really mean that. Top favorite foundations are usually from NARS, or I really like the new one from Patrick Ta for dry skin especially. And from the drugstore, you cannot beat the Maybelline Skin Tint. Hey y'all, Future Sophie here. So this is the end of the same day. I just wanted to give you an update on the wear of the makeup. So the lip stain did stain pretty well. It's the end of the night, so we've played, I've eaten dinner, but I will say that the foundation is holding together so much better than I even anticipated. It really hasn't settled into any creases. It still is very matte in a skin-like way. Usually, even when I wear matte foundations, my oils will peek through and I will end up looking sort of clean girl shiny by the end of the night anyway, even though I'm dry skinned. But this one didn't do that. The only sign of breakage you can see is around my nose, which I rub my baby's little nose all the time. So that's a little bit unfair to the foundation. But other than that, I want to say everything has worn really, really nicely by the end of the night compared to what I normally experience as a mom of a 1-year-old with my makeup by the end of the night. And I'm about to go shower. Huda Beauty's blush filter. This is an incredible color. I really like it on me. Lavender is one of my favorite colors anyway, so I may be particularly biased, but this was really beautiful. It's already a formulation I really like. It blurs, it gives you a matte cloud-like set to the skin, which I really like in the midst of so many things being so juicy and the wet skin look and everything. I think this is such a nice, beautiful and flattering alternative, especially if you have mature skin as well. This kind of product is going to be really beautiful for you. It doesn't deposit too much product, so it's very easy to work with and very blendable, and this color is a great addition to her line. Next up, I'm so happy to say that I actually adore this. I think this is so beautiful. You just need to be very light-handed. I don't think if you're fair-skinned, you can necessarily bake with this. I think this is something that is going to enhance the look of your bubblegum pink blush look, which again, I think is probably on its way out. I've been wearing a lot more neutral brown undertone bronzer kind of blushes, but when you do want this natural, beautiful pink look to your skin, this is absolutely something that is going to enhance that look tenfold. I think it's limited edition, so if you want to get your hands on it, I would go ahead and do so. But do you need it? No, obviously not. But I do think if you are deep skinned, it's going to look so beautiful on you if you're into this kind of look. But if you're fair skinned and you've been scared to try it, I would say give it a go, especially because you're not going to need to use as much. It's going to last you for a long time. I had a bubble in my throat the whole time we were talking. e.l.f. has a hard time doing anything wrong. This is the e.l.f. bronzer and contour. I think this was a great product. This blended out so beautifully for $7. It is hard to get your hands on anything better. This is lovely. Shade range is pretty nice as well. They have some fair, neutral, and warmer tones, I'd say. I bet the tone of this is deceptively warm though, so be careful. This did pull a little bit warmer and honestly more red than I was expecting, more purple red, so watch out for that. But as far as application and the finish and the pigmentation, it's a very nice product. These NYX lip IVs, I think they are a really beautiful addition to NYX's lip line. These feel incredibly buttery, so comfortable. I think the idea of having a lacquer that leaves stain behind is really, really lovely. The color range, I would say, is the only thing I think they could expand upon. There are not a lot of really beautiful colors like this. If you wanted a more pink, they tend to be a little similar. So I think that could be my only downside there. But if you find one color that you especially like, I definitely think the one color is worth picking up, but I'm probably not going to keep all of these. They're just a little too similar for my taste. Let's try this ColourPop Fresh Kiss. I've got mine here in the shade Strawberry Milk. And this smells like the ultimate like strawberry shortcake kind of like lip thing, which I frankly adore that scent. I can tell you that feels like an absolute dream. It smells like an absolute dream. This is one of my favorite pickups from my entire haul today, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. I think there's so many new launches that ColourPop used to be the one that came out with too many launches. I think they oversaturated the market and people took them a little bit for granted, but they really are such an incredible brand. You can't beat their prices, you can't beat their formulas. They really are so lovely. One of my favorite foundations from the drugstore is their ColourPop Fresh foundation. It looks identical to the new Fenty hydrating foundation, which I also really enjoy, but I think these are absolutely such an incredible pickup. If you love really beautifully scented lip balms, I think you would absolutely love these. The Viral Sachaeu Peel Off Lip Liner stains. I do think that their stain power is really lovely. Their color range is really lovely, but the placement and the application is a little bit hard to work with. I think there's a little bit of a learning curve that I'm still under, so I will let you know how that goes. I really love the idea of it. It peeled off very easily for me, but the placement of it was very difficult to get upon first application. You don't really have a lot of room for error, and so if you have very uneven lips like I do, it was a little bit difficult to apply quick enough. So that's sort of my thoughts on those. Interpret that as you will. The last thing I'm going to test out that I've been so excited because I've heard so many incredible things. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Lip Glass Highlighter Stick. Oh my gosh, I can't say that. This is the this looks incredible. Now, I'm really wary of highlighter sticks. I think they take off my makeup. I think they pick it up. I don't really care for them at all. So, oh my. But why does that look like wet goodness? Do you see that? Let's do a cute little nose highlight. See, here's the thing with sticks like this. I think this looks beautiful, but it did actually end up removing my foundation underneath. And I can't stand that because if it doesn't actually go over powder well, then there's really no point, because if I use it before powder and then I put powder on underneath, there's a really good chance it won't be strong enough to shine through. So I'm going to have to play around with that because it looks stunning, but it did take off my makeup underneath, and I'm not going to put it on my cheeks because I've already tested that out on my nose. But this looks incredible. Stay tuned because I really want to try this product underneath powder. The finish of this is unlike anything else I have ever seen. It almost just looks like a balm that you've put on your skin, but there's just enough shimmer to it and just enough of a bit of an undertone, whether it's the rosy one or gold, that it's really beautiful. However, not for over foundation, not for over powdered for sure. This is going to cater to more of a wet foundation kind of look. So we'll test it out on another look when I use a more hydrating foundation. A couple more exciting things I picked up in my haul to test out. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation Sunscreen. It has broad spectrum SPF 50. That is the requirement I have for my own personal SPFs. That's amazing. I saw Nikki LaRose try this product out. I was so excited. It looked so beautiful on her skin. And I love finding products that not everyone's talking about. So I'm really excited to try that. It's online only, by the way. Next up, I'm going to try the Everpure Bond Repair Oil and Serum from L'Oreal. I've heard incredible things about this. I'm always looking for things to help strengthen my hair. And then I picked up, speaking of SPF, I picked up the Naturium Dew Glow Moisturizer SPF 50 as well. So with these combined, I should have some skin protection going into the summer months, and I'm very excited to test these out. I will, of course, let you know how these go. Lastly, I can't wait to try the Anua 10 Plus Niacinamide and TXA. My skin loves niacinamide. It's really helped with my texture and my discoloration. So I've heard so many wonderful things about this, especially for dry skin. I can't wait to give this a go. And then I picked up Charlotte Tilbury's Big Lip Plumpgasm. Some are not getting enough hype, I don't think. We're going to test them all out today, and I cannot wait to get into it. So this is in her shade Pillow Talk Medium Deep. I have her shade Pillow Talk Fair, and I really, really like it. I like deeper shades on my lips. I like bold lip colors. So I liked the other one so much, I picked up the second color as well. Next, because I got this foundation and I really enjoyed it so much, I picked up the One Size Turn Up the Base foundation, which is the other foundation on the market that is extremely full coverage. And I want to do a comparison test of this. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see these two duke it out in comparison. I'm really excited and curious myself. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching all of my first impressions of all of these new exciting launches from 2025. 2025 I can tell is going to be a really exciting year in makeup. There's so many fantastic launches we've already had, which is so exciting. And if you like videos like this, please make sure to like it and leave a comment so that I know to make more of these. Or let me know if you have any ideas of stuff you would love to see. I want to absolutely make sure that you are having the best time here on my channel. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you liked anything you saw today, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you here in my cozy corner of the internet where you are free to overstay your welcome and we find out ways to live life more beautifully together. So until the next video, I love you girlies. Bye.